have my own little things that I have to do before a shot, especially before I'm facing the camera. There is something that I say to myself, and I think all actors do, because it's a big moment before every take.
It definitely was Lutera, my first film. Firsts are always special. You know, we've been talking about it all day. Working with Vikramaditya Motwane, working with Ranveer Singh, Sonakshi Sinha, such a stellar crew at that time. You know, Amit Trivedi was the music director, and when I read my name in the reviews, it felt great. But there was this one film which I did called A Death in the Gunj.
I've seen that.
And Konkona Sen Sharma's debut film. I think that film really opened a lot of doors for me.
And I think when it comes to choosing, I think, like I said, it's two of us meeting together. It's not just my choice. I had auditioned for another project at that time, which unfortunately didn't work out. But that audition tape, Panchmi, she really liked it, the casting director, and she sent it across to Sandy sir, our director, and he really liked it. And it just made me realize how when things are meant to happen and things that are not supposed to happen, they don't.
I have this knack of visualization. So it automatically tends to happen. So, you know, when I'm reading, even with my eyes open, I tend to visualize. I think that's one asset that I possess. So when you wear those lenses, it is absolutely as per your choice. So, you know, we chose 80-85% visual impairment because 10-15% for safety reasons. I got really scared. My entire body changed. I just cocooned and I was like, oh my God, this is how it actually is. I've chosen to be authentic, but it's the first 15-20 minutes I was scared. She was there. She saw me there and she told me, you've changed. The way you're listening, the way you're talking, the way your body has completely changed.
Senses must have gotten super hyperactivated.
It was such a fun experience. I went on the beach with a blindfold on and I didn't know what was happening.
Wow.
But you know, my senses were heightened. My senses, like my hearing, my sense of smell, my sense of touch, just feeling and you know, absorbing energy, that all heightened. Just, you know, the other person, how they're breathing also. You know, you have to really learn how to be genuinely in the moment when your visual cues go.
And lastly, what also keeps me going is that I'm so privileged to be an actor. I get to play so many different people in one lifetime.
Hello everyone, this is Hesha Chimah and you all are tuned on Varinder Chawla's page. Joining me here for a conversation today are two people who I absolutely love. One, of course, I'm waiting for her debut, and one who I've always loved and cherished, and he knows it super well, Vikrant Massey and Shanaya Kapoor in the house.
Hi Hesha, so good to chat.
Oh my God, so good to see you all. You know, I'll remind you, Shanaya, very briefly, last year during one of the fashion weeks, I interacted with her. And we did like a quick bite on fashion, this, that, and now I'm seeing you with, oh my God, Aankhon Ki Gustakiya, oh my God, chills, right?
Yes.
Like I think a day of press, launching, and of course your film being a theatrical release is all that you've dreamt of. And then you have Vikrant. What better does it get?
I know.
I don't even want to ask you how you're feeling, because I know how you're feeling. I'm sure you're feeling great only. But I want to know, how was it this morning when you woke up? When you know the day of press was going to happen and that moment that you've dreamt of has arrived?
Honestly, I think that sometimes when your film is, it's a matter of a few weeks before your first film is coming or any film's coming out. I think there's so much going on in your mind. So that's why I think even my mom always tells me is like soak in the moment, be in the moment, enjoy it, because it's your first film. These feelings, it's not going to come back. You know, you're going to be, you know, hopefully working on many films in the future, but your first is like, you know, it's your first love. It's your first baby, it's your first film. So cherish that feeling and try and be in the moment. So I think that's what I'm trying to do every day, especially today, because sometimes you get a little bit too caught up in your head. There's so many thoughts going on. You have to do this, you have to do that, and you kind of are always chasing the next thing, and you kind of forget to be in the moment. So that's what I told myself today, is just enjoy it. Enjoy it, have fun.
I have spoken to Mahi multiple times. I love her and she knows it. Like, we're constantly on each other's Instagram DMing, and I know how happy she is. But what I do know is that she has a slight superstitious touch to herself. Has that been passed on to you as well? Did you do any like, ho jai bas aaj ka din nikal jaye, let me sage myself and go properly, I give good answers? Did that happen?
No, I'm not. I'm not superstitious, but I do have my own little things that I have to do before a shot, especially before I'm facing the camera. There is something that I say to myself, and I think all actors do, because it's a big moment before every take. You may be just looking like you're having fun and you're chilling and this and that, but when that take is happening and when they're saying set and when they're saying action, it's a big moment. And so at that time I really say something to myself, and of course before today it was just putting the good and positive energy out there. That's all.
Great. विक्रांत, मैं क्या ही बताऊं, मतलब मैं कितनी तारीफ करूं आपकी.
Hesha, please, you're too generous. You're always very generous.
But that's because you are so amazing. Like, you know, I'm one of those. I think जितने भी लोग यहाँ पे आए होंगे, you all must have heard this, that if Vikrant should get a national award, and if that happens, I'm one of the few who's going to text you also. And that puts pressure for your next release. That always happens. But what I do want to ask you is that you've been celebrated, you've had your own journey and a difficult one as well, and then, oof, that's it, industry opens up. But today, if I were to ask you, before 12th Fail, which was that one project, one film that you did that you really felt was your best, is when you felt that probably now offers started coming to you, what would that film be?
I've been very, very lucky in that case, and I think I can go back to my TV days for that as well. I've been really blessed, you know, and I count my blessings every day, you know, and like the way you say, celebrated. I'm so grateful to you, to my colleagues, and to everyone who celebrate me. I mean, it still doesn't sink in. Whether it is Balika Vadhu, or whether it is a show called Baba Aisa Dhoondo, which I did, which was celebrated throughout the country at that time. So I've been lucky in that case. It could be Lutera, it could be. It definitely was Lutera, my first film. Firsts are always special. You know, we've been talking about it all day. Working with Vikramaditya Motwane, working with Ranveer Singh, Sonakshi Sinha, such a stellar crew at that time. You know, Amit Trivedi was the music director, and when I read my name in the reviews, it felt great. But there was this one film which I did called A Death in the Gunj.
I've seen that.
And Konkana Sen Sharma's debut film. I think that film really opened a lot of doors for me. And as I said, I've been lucky. You know, intermittently, I've been loved and appreciated for what I've done. So I hope that continues with Aankhon Ki Gustakiyan as well.
Absolutely. You know, I'm a reader, so I've read this book by Ruskin Bond, which is a short story. And when I read the book, it obviously had thoughts in my head. And I was like, wait, oh my God, like I can probably connect. But y'all are playing parts and characters where you're visually impaired, y'all can't see. But when the script came or the narration happened, did the visual imagery come alive? And like, how are you going to do it? And listen, I know first and all to hota hai, but pressure bhi hota hai when you know you have somebody so great ahead of you. Like, how was that for both of y'all? And when you knew it was Shanaya, like, what thoughts came in your mind when y'all heard the narration or the script?
I read it. I read it. And I had also read the short story like years ago, and I did recall chunks of it. I read it again. And when I got to know that it's Shanaya, I was very excited. I kind of thanked my stars saying, okay, you know, her first film is going to be with me. And I was really looking forward to it. But when we started working together, or actually started prepping together, you know, the amount of hard work she'd already put in before me joining the crew during the prep, she was so well versed with the script, she knew it to the T. She made me, you know, she compelled me to better myself.
So, but the character ran in your head when you read the script?
I tend to, like, I have this knack of visualization. So it automatically tends to happen. So, you know, when I'm reading, even with my eyes open, I tend to visualize. I think that's one asset that I possess. But it was nowhere close to actually sort of not being able to see. And I'll quickly share this thing with you. I knew that I was going to play a blind guy who's also a musician. You know, I had to play the guitar. I had to learn to play the piano, learn the guitar as well. But we ordered customized lenses from America, which would aid me in actually not seeing. I didn't want to enact, you know. So when you wear those lenses, it is absolutely as per your choice. So, you know, we chose 80-85% visual impairment because 10-15% for safety reasons. I got really scared. My entire body changed. I just cocooned and I was like, oh my God, this is how it actually is. I've chosen to be authentic, but it's the first 15-20 minutes I was scared. She was there. She saw me there, and she told me, you've changed. The way you're listening, the way you're talking, the way your body
Your
has
body
it's completely
language.
changed.
Senses must have gotten super
Yes.
hyper-activated,
Yes.
right?
And when I knew that this is the part I'm going to play a blind guy. But when you actually went ahead to play with that, it really sort of gave me goosebumps. And then I knew, okay, this is easier said than done. I really need to sort of pull myself up.
Coming to you. I know this, that you were roaming blindfolded. Prep.
घर पे नहीं, बाहर भी.
What? Shanaya's like, let me go in the skin of it.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
God, bye.
I mean, I think I was just discussing this earlier. I think to play Sabha, and whatever Sabha is going through in the film, you'll get to see that on the 11th of July. But for me to play Sabha, Shanaya had to be very comfortable. And if Shanaya wasn't comfortable, and if I was figuring things out, then how am I going to play the other notes of Sabha?
Yeah.
Then the whole focus would be just diverted towards the blindfold, and that's not what I was, I've come here to do, is not just to focus on not being able to see or remembering my lines. That's the minute part of the job, and I didn't want to focus on that. I wanted to let loose, and I wanted to free flow, and for that to happen, I had to put in the time, and I had to put in the prep, and I'm happy I did. It was such a fun experience.
Yeah.
I went on the beach with a blindfold on, and I didn't know what was happening.
Wow.
But my senses were heightened. My senses, like my hearing, my sense of smell, my sense of touch, just feeling and absorbing energy, that all heightened. Just the other person, how they're breathing also. You have to really learn how to be genuinely in the moment when your visual cues go.
Yeah.
So it was very important for me to do that. And of course, when I was reading the script, when I was reading it for the first time, I always tend to, and I try to always read it from a third person perspective, and I try to read it as an audience first to see, what am I feeling as an audience with the story? What am I learning? What am I feeling when I read it? And I always note that down as an initial thing, and then I get into the actor's lens. And when I was reading it as Sabha, then I was reading it as Shanaya wanting to play Sabha, which is the actor's way of reading it. There was of course this visual image that was coming in my head of how I'm imagining the character to be, and that's very important. I think the initial feelings when you read the script the first time. It's so important to I feel a note down, and because I think then we are constantly working on the script, and constantly there are going to be changes happening, but that initial gut feeling, that initial instincts are
The first instinct.
it's always the magical ones in anything in life, the first feeling. So I always try to hold on to that and hold on to those images, and of course when you're finally on set, everything was changing.
Right?
Everything vanishes. But I think it's so well written that you can't not have the visual imagery.
Yeah, sure.
So
of course, after so many years, Vikrant, till today, what is it about acting that thoroughly inspires you? What stimulates you? And what do you still wish to do between action and cut when you're in front of the camera?
There's so much that I wish to do between action and cut. And also because with the advantage of hindsight, because of the nature of our job, you look back at what most films, they at least take 6 months to release. So when you look back, especially at a dubbing studio or just otherwise, so you wish you could have done so much better because you've outgrown that character. You're seeing that character with a completely different lens, say maybe after 6 months, for example. So there is quite a lot, I can go on and on about that. There are some performances you really wish you had done them in a different way. What inspires me, I think it is this tremendous power that this medium of storytelling holds to inspire people, to be their voice, to entertain, yes, of course, but it goes way beyond entertainment. To be the voice for the voiceless, to give them hope, to inspire them, as I said. This medium is tremendously influential, and it's always been. Storytelling, whether it is through art, whether it is through books, whether it is through cinema, has always held that incredible power to inspire and change. You know, that is what keeps me going. And lastly, what also keeps me going is that I'm so privileged to be an actor that if there, I mean, I get to play so many different people in one lifetime.
Yeah.
Like, for example, you know, this whole spectrum is available for you to go out there and play anybody you want.
Yeah.
Even if you are going to play a bad guy, like Prem Singh in Sector 36, you will not be charged for it. But you can go out there and you can play that part and explore that human possibility, that human potential, and come back home safe and sound and get to know so much more about yourself at the end of it, or human nature, most of all. So yeah, that's what keeps me going.
You know, I drew a parallel in my head about both your personalities, and please correct me if I'm wrong. Vikrant is somebody who's known to not box himself. Like, he can make you hate him because of his character, and then cut to he does something like this, and then there is Sri Ravi Shankar. Matlab, aap spiritual guru ban chuke hain. That's called breaking the unboxing. That's what happens. Like, I'm just like, wait, what? And then coming to you, like, where probably everybody must have hoped, you had it that way also, a quintessential debut that could have happened, and then this is what happens where, and even going forward, I mean, there's Vikrant, there's Abhay Verma, who we absolutely love and adore, there's Adarsh Gaurav, loved you in that trailer as well. Iska to teaser dekha, there also I've loved you in the songs. Like, so I feel like you guys love not to do the things that probably ideally one would think of it. Ya box kar do aapko, ya khud ko hi box, or you're just breaking away from it, which is great. So I'm thinking that's a great commonality and parallel that I have drawn. What I do want to ask you, Shanaya, since I've understood what stimulates him as an actor, it's your first.
Yes.
What about it is most exciting? Like, what about it still makes you make these choices that you feel like would make you different, would stand out? Because that's also one of the key things, right? As an actor, it's important to do something like that.
Of course. And I think I said this earlier as well when Vikrant and I were chatting. I think when it comes to a film, I think it's not just you choosing the film. I think somewhere the film chooses you as well. It's both of y'all meeting. It's like the stars are aligned, both our paths are aligned for us to have this, the journey together. I think a character is, sometimes when you play it and you're there in the moment, you connect so much to it, or you find those similarities, you get a little attached to your character, you kind of get a little protective, you learn a lot from that character, you befriend your character, and that's what I've tried to do in this film. But yeah, I mean, I think when it comes to choosing, I think, like I said, it's two of us meeting together. It's not just my choice. I had auditioned for another project at that time, which unfortunately didn't work out. But that audition tape, Panchmi, she really liked it, the casting director, and she sent it across to Sandy sir, our director, and he really liked it. And it just made me realize how when things are meant to happen and things that are not supposed to happen, they don't. And it doesn't. In that time when the audition didn't go through and I didn't get that project, of course, it's not a nice feeling. But of course, I took it with stride and tried to, just take it in a positive way and try to move on from it. But it does bother you, of course, as an actor. And then finally, when it worked out for this, it suddenly feels like, oh my God, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for however it was planned, however the universe had planned it. He has better plans, like you said.
Yeah.
He's planning everything. Trust that, have that faith, and just keep going on.
Yeah.
So I think that it was a film that was meant to happen, and I was meant to work with an actor like Vikrant Massey. I'm like so fortunate that I got this chance. And sometimes when we were shooting, it was a moment that I was like, okay, I understand what happened and why it happened, because this moment was supposed to happen, and it was supposed to happen like this. And I'm so happy and grateful. I would have never had it any other way.
Yeah, and I mean, the lineups are so great, so congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Both of you, actually,
Thank you
for that. That's amazing. I have a few minutes before I wrap this, but I do want to say this, Shanaya. I feel there's something about fame that no one teaches you. You only learn when you sort of get there, right? I want to ask both of you all, what's that one thing about fame that no one teaches you but you learned after you all got famous?
I mean, it could get intrusive sometimes. I mean, that's one thing which you experience with time. I mean, it does sometimes get intrusive. expectations are another thing. You know,
See, I'm putting so much.
Yeah, there are expectations, there are certain things, and that's the nature of the job. People expect certain things out of you. But you know, I don't know. I don't think I'm actually qualified to answer this because honestly, I'm not that very famous, to be very, very honest. I'm still on my way there. I'm not right out there wherein I can't walk the streets. I still walk the streets of my city. I still do that. I think it's the intrusive bit, and it's which doesn't go well with my nature, you know. So I don't pay a lot of attention to it anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, the way I see fame, like if I have to just sort of briefly sum it up, I think it's concomitant to the nature of our job.
Yeah.
You know. It's
what we've just signed up for is we at the end of it you kind of know as an actor you this is something that comes with it, and this is something that you have to understand how to deal with. And I think for both of us, I think if I can say that, I think when we're finally on set and we're facing the camera, I think it kind of feels like, okay, it's such a it doesn't matter because we're getting to do this. So if you have to go through that little bit here and there of the scrutiny or maybe the criticism, as you say, the trolling, as you would say, it's okay because you're finally facing the camera. So then you suddenly forget all of that. But I think that something that's very important I don't know about fame, but what is very important is to try and kind of protect your vulnerability and that side of you. I think that child in you, I think, is very important to protect, especially for our profession. I think
to retain that sanity.
To retain that, I think that is something that I'm trying to hold on to is to keep it at bay, not to take it so personally that you harden or you kind of become thick-skinned because. You have to kind of open yourself
it's like a double-edged sword. You know?
Yeah.
Also, if I don't know if I'm putting it the right way, that you love meeting people who tell you thank you for the work you do. You inspired me. Thank you so much. Can I have a picture with you? And you are capable enough to provide them that one special moment in their lifetime, which you're capable of. You know, you're blessed to sort of have that, give someone that feeling, or make them feel that way. But it's also a double-edged sword, you know. I mean, the intrusive bits of it do tend to sort of, I mean, again, I don't know. I mean,
I know how you are with it, we know it. But I feel eventually it's the validation and that comes with all of this, and that's most important.
You love that, of course.
Yeah, everybody loves validation. Whose validation are you seeking the most right now in your life?
Whose validation? The audiences.
Yeah.
You know, I think I want each and everyone out there to go to their cinema screens on the 11th of July, watch Aankhon Ki Gustakiyan. This is the first time that I've actually gone out there and done something, conventional. Shanaya's first film, so please go out there, support her. I mean, I'm really looking forward to the audience's validation.
Yeah, also great year for everybody at the Kapoor family. Mahib's killing it with Traitors. You're here. Everybody's doing a great job. Like, now what is the last conversation that you all are having at home about you debuting? And she's also killing it and she's getting so much love.
I think when we finally come home, my dad actually is always very particular that our lunch and dinners together on the table. We can never eat whenever we want to or never eat in our rooms, no matter what is happening. Because I think that family time is very important. But we're always discussing a lot of things. But as of now, it's Aankhon Ki Gustakiyan. As of now, it is 11th of July. As of now, it is my whole family flying out from Delhi and coming, and my nani and my nana. So we're discussing all of that, what we're going to do with them when they come, and everything. So we're just, it's just a very wholesome feeling right now at home. But the focus as of now is
just the film. Great.
It's just this.
D-Day is going to be all about reviews, knowing what's happening, and we're all excited as the both of you are. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
I'm so looking forward to the film and so looking forward to everything else that you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Lovely chatting with you.
Always. Thank you.